Hi, I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Steins Gate 0, Season 1, Episode 23. 1.12358 That's where we're at.
Does it have to mean anything since we're going into episode 23 and there's a 23 in that number? Mind-blowing moment. Let's get some theorists in here. We're gonna search through the anime and see if this makes sense, and it's episode 23, 58 seconds in, there's gonna be one thing that happens. I don't know.
I feel like that needs to be the case now. Or anything
Sorry,
less and I'm gonna be disappointed.
I set you up for disappointment then, I guess.
You ready?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay.
Different reasons. Wow, no time. Kaguri? Moeka?
レンタロこのところで何をしているんだい麻酔について僕の予想以上に何か知っているのかい係はどこだ
Moeka might be tailing. What?
君たちはどこまで知っているんだいアマデウスが消されたことで変動今のレスキネン教授は係を洗脳して
Not have completely brainwashed her.
あれはレスキネン教授知らない未来のことを知っている教えてほしいかならば教えよう萌えか
Oh!
大丈夫だ病院にそんな暇はない手を貸してくれラボメンナンバー005桐生萌えかやめなさい
Judy Reyes just got mowed down, bro. Wow. Jesus. Oh!
The only future that
Woo!
means something
What
to
is
me.
this fight? Holy shit.
Dude!
Jesus.
私はこれからすずさんと一緒に乗って過去に行きたいんだ。大切な人に目を覚ましてもらうために。無理だよ。
I love Mary so much.
お姉ちゃんがいくら頑張ったってうまくいくわけない。燃料だって片道分しかないんでしょ。来られないんだよ。どうなっちゃうかも。かがりちゃん、無茶かもしれない。無駄かもしれない。オカリンは別なの。オカリンには未来を変える力。きっとそれはみんなにあるんだ。その力でみんなを引っ張ってくれるの。そのオカリンの背中をちょっとだけ押してあげたいの。そのくらいならきっと私にもできるはずだから。マユシーの彦星様にしてあげられることだ。彦星。
She probably knows that word.
あの日、私の彦星様
はあ。
彦星様。かがり、お前も一緒に来い。で、未来を変えるんだ。
Yes.
未来じゃない。一緒に幸せになれる、そんな未来を作るんだ。かがりちゃん。
What? I didn't even.
俺からも頼む。
オ
聞いてくれ。俺は未来から戻ってきた。タイムリープマシンを使う。ここはもう少しで戦場になる。マシンを出発させるんだ。
そんな教授にはここのことは
失っている。だが時間の問題だ。
I love this song.
Resolve.
ラボメンナンバー002椎名真由里。
What's the operation? Yes! Damn right it is.
引っ叩いてきてくれ。
Slap some
Some
sense
sense into
into
me.
me!
長くは持たない。急いで。
Oh, come
Come
on.
on, please. Please. Please.
No, she's gonna help Moeka. She's gonna help Moeka.
ホカリンさん、ママに会えなくなってもいいの？寂しくないの？
何を言っている。真由里は俺の大切な人質だ。連れて帰ってくる。
Stop!
かがりちゃん、行って。ママたちの道は
かがり。
ママの彦星様。信じたからね。また会わせてくれるって。
任せろ。
Oh,
Oh, please.
oh no, he's making a call. We're quicker this time.
やはり来たか。見るんだ。今度こそ恐れるな。瞬間を。
Whoo!
He's so sure.
Oh!
No parts of the time machine.
よく聞けまぬけども、あの箱は開いた。貴様らが手に入れようとしたタイムマシンの彼方へとすでに消え去ったのだ。恐れるがいい。この法王隠居魔を負けることはない。俺は必ずと見つけてみせる。それがこの俺の選択。
What a great shot!
That's like one
Oh
of the
my
best shots
God.
in this in Steins Gate Zero.
Oh my god.
タイムマシン
There's two! It's from me.
電話出てみる。
She tells herself to do it.
もしもし、お願い。私の話を聞いて。法王院京馬のこと好き？オカリンは戻ってくるけど、マキセさんの救出には失敗。どんなことをしてでも手の彦星様を呼び覚ましてほしいの。彦星様？そう。
Oh, what a shot!
出た心を蹴っ飛ばしてでも立ち直らせて。ただ名前を呼んだだけじゃ届かない。法王院京馬が生み出された瞬間のことを思い出して。法王院京馬が生み出された瞬間。9年と1年分の思い、あなたに託した。
Whew.
私は信じてる。オカリンと仲間と。だからあなたも信じて。よろしくね。てってるー。待って。マヨネさん、もう限界。スタインズゲートはあるんだよね。うん。きっとある。
誰からだったん？
ごめん、マヨネさん。無理みたい。
Not enough fuel.
燃料がないんだよね。パラドックスが起きるから飛ぶしかなかった。私たちはこのままかもしれない。に放り出されるかもしれない。1年後か1億年後。ありがとう。マヨネさん、この日に連れてきてくれて。向こうのマユシーと私の彦星様が何とかしてくれるよ。オカリンおじさんが羨ましいな。リングシュタイナーがあれば世界線が変動しても覚えていられるのに。年下のマヨネさんと今のこの瞬間も。次にすずさんに会えるの。でもじゃあお話できないか。ねえ、オカリンが真っ暗闇になって無限の影に怯えても閉じないで。諦めないで。コイン京馬を殺さないで。
Kill off
Oh.
Korean Kyoma.
そうすれば 思いはきっと届くから。善という時間を旅してきたあの星の光みたいに、あのラボでいつだってあなたを、みんなを待っているから。シュタインズゲートで会おうね。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my fuck.
ポカリ
This takes me back.
ポカリの携帯だ。開けて。でもいいから。テレビを見ろ。
テレビ？
貨物室に火災を起こしながらもかろうじて亡命先のロシアに
YC のメタルーパー。
でもなんでロシアに？
全ての始まりなんだ。これをきっかけに大国間で世界大戦に発展する。国の命がかかってるの。マキセ・クリスを救って世界線を変えて。
無理だよ。前入りの時と同じなんだ。どんなにあがこうが結果は変わらない。クリスは死ぬんだ。俺には分かってるんだ。どれだけ不条理にできているか、どんな結末を用意しているか。分かっていたんだ。こうなるって。もう疲れたよ。
I have missed the song so much.
初めましてだな。15年前の俺。このメールを開いているということは、クリスを救うことに失敗したということだな。辛かっただろう。
Look at all of
だが
them.
その辛さが俺に執念を与えた。なかったことにするわけにはいかなかったのだ。そう救いにシュタインズゲートに入る計画だ。そして目的の世界線をシュタインズゲートと名付けたのも俺。なぜその名なのかも。
There is none.
特に意味は
Bingo.
そうだろ
ねえ、あれでいいの？
う。多分ね。
恥ずかしがらないかしら。
大丈夫。その頃はもっとすごかったから。オペレーションスクールドの概要を説明する。を変えずに結果を変えろ。最初のお前を騙せ。
Deceive your original self. Deceive the.
それがシュタインズゲートに到達するための健闘を祈る。エル、プサイ、コングル。
カット。はい、これでバッチ。
D メールと一緒に過去へ転送。
はい。今撮ったビデオメールは
Fuck
2010年の京馬さんに。
本当にいいの？
どうした？
だってタイムマシンの試作機で。
To go back for Mayuri.
死ぬと言われた2025年は今年。自分から死にに行くみたいなことを。
俺はそんなつもりは毛頭ないぞ。絶対に成功すると信じている。
でも
こう解釈できない。2025年岡部倫太郎は死んだのではなく、タイムマシン初号機に乗って別の時空間へ旅立った。前から消えるということは死と同じ意味になるんじゃない。
ものすごいポジティブシンキングね。
だが仮説としてはありだろ。世界は騙せる。今日までよくついてきてくれた。2011年のあの日、過去へ飛び立ったまま行方不明あゆりたちを見つけ出すために出発する。ポルトレーサーがきっと2人のフォーカスを見つけ出し、踊り着かせてくれるはずだ。
オカリンさん、これを。
いいのか？
はい、絶対に渡してください。
I love this so much.
最後にもう一度だけ聞かせて。シュタインズゲートは本当に。
Does it really exist? The same question Mayuri asked her older self.
あるさ。絶対。これよりオペレーションを開始する。作戦名はオペレーションアルタイル。
うまくいくわよね。今日なら必ずやり遂げるにゃ。
その通りです。
Daru.
She's trusting you.
宇
Wow.
宙に始まりはあるが終わりはない。無限。星にもまた始まりはあるが、あの力を持って滅びゆく。有限。英知を持つ者こそ最も愚かであるのは見とれる。
Oh, it's a great line.
魚は陸の世界を知らない。彼らが英知を持てば
They too would be ruined.
光の速さを超えるのは魚たちが陸で生活を始め、そんな神からの最後通告に抗った者たちによる10年のエピグラフ。
Whew.
What a great
Damn.
line for Maho. Wow.
That's a long credit.
That is a long credit. Makes you feel like you're gonna get something after it.
Have to. BC 1800.
Oh, dude! It's like the inside the hourglass.
Oh, fuck, dude. Come on. This is the coolest character.
二人とも
Okay, that was Steins Gate Zero, Season 1, Episode 23. I feel like so much happened in that episode.
There were emotions in that episode. On our end, we had emotions watching it.
I have, like, the entire scene, dialogue, monologue, video of Ocarine recording and sending back to himself. That entire sequence, I think, is in my top 3 moments, top 2. It is so high up for me out of anything I have ever witnessed in my entire life. It means the world to me.
It's another level of basically him applying what he's saying in that dialogue to his younger self. He's applying it with what he's doing. Deceive yourself.
Yeah.
He's crafting this. He has everyone, like, lighting. He has sound effects. He has someone blocking out the window. Like, he's crafting this video. It's probably, the lines have probably been written down. He knows exactly what he's going to say. He is, in that video, deceiving himself.
Yep.
That, honestly, like, if there was nothing out of Steins Gate Zero that you could get and be like, you know, I'm glad I watched it. If you felt like there wasn't anything, I'd be like, but what about that?
Yeah.
You know, I would be like, getting to see him actually come up with and craft and everyone surrounding him in support of making that video, the emotions that are tied to it, what it was relying on, what they were relying on this video doing, the effect of it.
Yeah.
For what we know now is a Mayuri and Suzuha. There's so much weight of the people in that room. A Mayuri and Suzuha being lost to time. Like, the whole future still resting on, you know, yes, Mayuri does the slap, but we still need Okabe to view this video. Like, we need both of those things. We need Okabe and Mayuri's hard work in tandem to create a Steins Gate.
Yep.
To get there. It is possible. Oh, that line, both of them saying it, like being asked, is it possible? Oh, okay.
No, like, I completely agree. Like, it felt like I was about to say something and you were saying it at the same time. Like, I felt like I agree with 1,000% of everything you just said. And I'm thinking the same way. The idea that, man, like, obviously coming out of Steins Gate, this is completely different. It gives you completely different context. And coming out of Steins Gate, I wanted to know what the fuck that Okabe looked like. You know, what the fuck he looked like recording that video. But if you can't give me that without it feeling cheap, unless it was behind a great fucking story in of itself. And that's what it was. I feel like if they did it any other way, it would not have felt as rewarding and good as it does now. It feels like it's additive. It's additive for the appreciation of what that moment meant.
What they did is, I think that it is something that we had wanted from Steins Gate, an understanding and knowing of what created the Okabe that records that video. what is his journey like that brought him to that moment where he records that video for himself with the iconic lines that have like conceptually run through the entire series about deceiving yourself, and especially been prevalent in Steins Gate Zero being brought up in dialogue. Like, we have been hoping and wondering, I guess, hoping and wondering whether or not that was going to be the story that was actually being told in Steins Gate, or if we were going into it too heavy with that notion. Yeah. And if maybe that was going to, in hindsight, hurt our enjoyment of the show. But it is, I think, now, I know it's not over and there's a 24th episode, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
But I can say after this episode that I have confidence that if you enjoyed Steins Gate, with what this story is telling in Steins Gate Zero, you're going to want to watch it.
I completely agree. I think that my biggest, my favorite thing about not only this episode, but the series and it's what it's actively doing to the original Steins Gate series too. My favorite thing is how fucking awesome they're showing Mayuri out to be. I knew it's like, it's nothing's out of character that she's done here, but being able to actually see her do these things it means the world to me. She sacrificed herself, her own life, to be able to find this. And thank God we're finding her 16,000 years BC, but like what that gives me is tremendous, and I love it.
Why that is so good, and not just because excitement-wise and entertainment-wise it was good, why that is so good is Mayuri never got the choice in Steins Gate. Every action on Okabe and then Kurisu's part was to save the world that Mayuri existed in, to save her. She never got the choice of hearing the weight, hearing what was to come, hearing how this would affect her in the future and affect the people that she loved. She never got to be a part of that conversation of what are we willing to sacrifice.
Steins Gate is only achievable if two different versions, if a version of Kurisu and a version of Mayuri are both willing to sacrifice everything for it. Both of them.
This was so completely, like, this episode, I think you can just totally say that this series, I think you can enjoy Steins Gate as like a standalone, and people could walk away from it and be like, Steins Gate's one of my favorite shows, and still feel that way and have so much love for it if they've never even heard of Steins Gate Zero. Yeah. Which I had never even heard of Steins Gate Zero, to be frank. I had heard of Steins Gate before, didn't know anything about it, but I had heard people talk about it. Never had heard about Steins Gate Zero. And I feel like, obviously, as a work, Steins Gate Zero stands alone really, really well. Yeah. And so, at first, there was a worry of, okay, what is this Steins Gate Zero? What is it? Why is it created? Why was it necessary when you have such a good standalone work as Steins Gate? Yeah. Is it going to be worth opening up that box again, opening up that world again for the viewer? Are they going to be happy that you did this, or are they going to wish you left Steins Gate alone and just had that be standing alone by itself, untouched by any other influence or any other content? Yeah. I think that this episode has really solidified why this was necessary, and I think we've already hit two of the biggest reasons is Mayuri. Yeah. What she is able to do in this series, and seeing how the video's created. We needed to know why Mayuri slaps him. We needed to know what brought her to that. Yeah. And what it meant to her to do that. How hard it was to bring herself to do that. But what years, she said 26 years. Feelings spanning 26 years was.
Do you have when that line was said? Because that was one of my favorite lines.
I don't have the timestamp. It was after 7 minutes in.
I have 11:41 and 13:45. I think it could be either of those.
It's definitely in the phone call. Which honestly, maybe we should just go over the whole phone call.
I would like to. Okay, do you want to?
Let's just go over the whole phone call. Okay.
God, the idea of a time machine of a time machine literally landing the second this one went away. And the most comedic part to me is Mayuri has a purpose and reason here. Daru's just like, what the fuck is happening? Not only is, Kiyoma gonna come back covered in blood saying I killed Kurisu, but he's also like, why the fuck was there another time machine? I love it. God.
It was
this
a need
phone
to know
call.
basis, Daru.
Please listen to what I have to say. Would you like to read it?
Sure.
I feel like you'd probably do it justice a bit more than me.
Do you love Hyoin Kyoma? And then she's like, oh my god, blushy. In 1 minute from now, Ocarine will return, but he will have failed in saving Makise-san. So, no matter what it takes, you have to confront your Hikoboshi, open up his eyes. My Hikoboshi? And then she realizes,
This is the
yes!
best scene.
And you see Hyoin Kyoma. Okarine's heart will be shattered, but you've got to get him back on his feet. Just saying his name won't be enough. 30 seconds left. Remember the exact moment Hyoin Kyoma was born. The
That
moment
hand.
Hyoin Kyoma was born. Feelings spanning 26 years and one more are entrusted to you.
What a fucking line.
I believe in Ocarine, my friends, and in myself.
In myself. So please believe too. In
The rest is
myself.
up to you. Believe in yourself. Toot through.
You know what's so great about it? The conveying of what needs to actually happen, the slap, it's not there. That's what I love about it. The belief in yourself that Mayuri, that the episode that started us on our journey of Steins Gate Zero, that doubt that we see Mayuri have, it's that she felt like she could do that or wanted to maybe, but it's like the belief in yourself that is like, okay, I know that this is what the right course of action would be if I told him to pick himself up right now.
The whole point of this, the whole issue that she has that brings her to the moment in the future where we see her lamenting, looking outside a window that Kaguri is witness to, of her being like, if I had done something for my Hikoboshi then, there's a hesitation there for her. There's something that's like, I don't know what to do here. I don't fully grasp the situation. But is it even that?
Yeah.
What is it that is holding her back? Is it a lack of... Is it just a worry, a hesitation, she doesn't necessarily as a person have the confidence of making big decisions or making ripples and waves?
But it's this whole time you're dealing with like an Okabe who's gone through so much that you can't fathom because you literally don't know.
It's like
you don't have reading Steiner.
Yeah.
Like, of course that's going to put you in a position that it's like, and when this person's doing this all to protect you or to like protect anybody, and they like, it would be hard to get up on your feet and be like, I know what the right course of action is here.
Yeah, like you don't have the right.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't feel like you had the right to even touch what this person is going through or dealing with because they're doing it all for your sake, even though the Mayuri that we know in the past, like, she grasps it and she doesn't. There's fleeting memories and feelings. She's aware, but she's also not totally aware of everything. But she gets the sense that he's protecting her and that she's his hostage. We know that from, dialogue in season 1. And we're right to bring up this idea of if you were confronted with a similar circumstance of you're in front of someone who literally came out of a time machine and saying that they killed the love of their life and you're gonna slap them, like, that's hard. What you'd have to bring yourself to do is like, I know I don't have the right here to be doing this, but it's out of like love for you that I'm doing this and pushing you forward.
Yeah.
But it'd be so hard to do.
I wanted to read these lines as well, if you would do the honor.
Hey, Ocarine, when the world seems like darkness, and you're afraid of the shadows, don't close your eyes. Don't give up. Don't kill off Hyoin Kyoma.
How fucking...
That way, my feelings might reach you.
I adore it. I adore it.
Wow.
I don't... Okay. My first thought when... I know I'm jumping a bit here. When Kyoma is showing up in 18,000 BC, I believe it was.
Something like that.
Um,
Definitely BC.
my first thought is like, of course, holy shit, the hourglass.
Like and the waiting for him there. That she, what did we get that shot where she's almost a part of the sand herself? I think in Steins Gate there was this feeling like she had, of her passing here.
Yeah.
Her being alone here.
I don't think that was like OG series compared to this. I don't think it was setting itself up for this.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I do think it's it might be a nod to it. I don't know how the fuck they've survived this long. I guess we don't know how long it's actually been. We don't actually. Right?
I mean, honestly, he could have popped in only moments after they arrived because he's in a time machine.
Yeah.
So in this iteration, they could have only been there for the matter of what we get is
it looked like they were very defeated, like the holy shit, we're done for.
I think it was more like Suzuha opened the door, sees where they are, and is like, we are in a barren place a long time ago.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
They're just now kind of crushing realization of their fate.
I think it's an interesting concept. Like, okay, they were out of fuel. They tried to jump back, and this is where they landed. Like how the not having a fuel would be conveyed, like in terms of time, right? If like time's like an infinite loop that could keep looping again and again, which direction would this time machine operate on that no fuel or not enough fuel would put them here? It's interesting. Damn. I have no idea what's gonna happen next episode.
I also agree because this felt very finale-esque.
I could have ended it here, to be honest. Granted, I'm very happy that there's a next episode.
And we're keeping an open mind about whatever that has to offer. It could be similar to how Steins Gate ended, and then there was the OVA.
Yeah.
But maybe the OVA, in a sense, would be this final episode.
True.
In comparison.
One of the things that like shook me to my core the most was that they still meet Maho. Like I was like, oh my fuck, like Jesus, that's crazy.
I'm glad because I really liked being able to bring back God into the conversation and like play what we're playing with here in terms of like challenging God and fate, bringing that back in this episode, which brings in making the impossible possible, like Ruka says, as we are in the future.
I am bringing up like the best fucking scene now.
What is the best scene? Oh, okay. So,
Mayuri sticking her head in between Suzuha and Kaguri and their guns was fucking phenomenal. You know what the best part of it though was for me?
What?
It wasn't even the fact that she did it. That was more like, what the fuck? It was what her dialogue was coming out of it. Like, it felt so her. That was scary. I was holding my breath, you know?
Oh, I agree.
I'm glad you didn't shoot Kaguri.
I'm so glad you didn't shoot me. Oh, bringing this back up and Kaguri back up, there was a line right before Mayuri does this that I wrote down, and it was a Kaguri line, and it was the only future that means something to me. Kaguri had such this blinders and this idea that if Mayuri were to leave now, then there would never be another. Steins Gate doesn't include her getting to be with Mayuri as her mother.
Yeah. Steins
Gate doesn't include that. And in a sense, she doesn't get to be with Mayuri until Okabe goes to get Mayuri again in that world line, in that iteration of their lives.
Yeah.
So I guess the one that's currently existing's iteration is that she doesn't get to be with Mayuri again until Mayuri is brought back. But then
that's a lot of trust in Ocarine.
And their ages are going to be funky. Yeah. So the only future that means something to me is that previous one with War. Obviously, we get to see a Kaguri, which is really nice, that knows that trusting Ocarine was the right move.
Yeah.
That there is another future that could exist for this current Kaguri, this actual Kaguri that could mean something.
What I thought was really cool is the crux of the belief and trust in Ocarine being a flashback for us. And remembering the time that Mayuri said that day if my Hikoboshi had come back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, that would be the thing that would sell Kaguri on the whole thing and be able to try to sacrifice herself even at the end of the day to be able to give this to Mayuri and Suzuha.
Because what it is obviously, like, Kaguri has such an... What we're seeing is really the extent of Kaguri's love for Mayuri. Like, she does love her as her mother. Like, if you heard someone you cared about using a word that was so special to you, and even in private when they don't know you're there, they are regretful about something, and you saw that there was a chance and that they trusted in this person as well to achieve something better. Obviously, I think this moment with Kaguri, it just completely sums up the actual love and trust that she has for Mayuri as her mother, in trusting Mayuri's convictions, trusting Mayuri's resolve, trusting the person that Mayuri puts trust into, which in this episode is not only Ocarine, it is herself.
Yeah.
And she's basically like being like, trust me, your mother.
So
like,
good. I have a question.
Okay.
What do you do, like, assuming that we get another episode that's continuing off of the end credit here, what do you do with this Suzuha?
So I actually was thinking something similar.
So,
I had a question
like,
about that.
There's something that happens within Dragon Ball Super that you could make a comparison to, but obviously I'm not, for the sake of you not seeing it and me wanting you to watch it one day on the channel. But there was contention over what they did there. I'm interested to see what they do here. Do you allow a world that there are two Suzuhas at various different ages, you know?
If anything, it only works with Suzuha. Because of the fact that Suzuha was in original Steins Gate the only one that was playing with fire in terms of time paradox, and then we eliminate the others, which is Mayuri and Kaguri being involved there in terms of duplicating them in the story. Suzuha is the only character you could do that with. It's just how do you actually, because isn't like time paradox like an issue there? So
Suzuha, this Suzuha deserves to live in a world of peace.
Yes.
I think that it could be like very, I was gonna say romantic, just as a genre, not in terms of feelings, but very poetic. If this Suzuha was able to return to, this present, where we see a grown Daru who's already had Suzuha, because this Suzuha has memories of a very similar age Daru herself, I think that could be cool, but you never know what they could do with it.
I would like her to return to a place where her mother is alive, definitely. I think that if I were her, I wonder if I would want to return to our present or to the future. Would you want to return to when you're the contemporary and the peer and the friend to all the... Because this Suzuha is a contemporary and a friend to all these people. She's not a niece or a little sister to these people. She is their friend and contemporary. She's even friends with her parents. She might want to return and at the same... grow up with Kaguri. The Kaguri that we know in the future that we saw sending off Ocarine grew up with them as peers. Yeah. She might want to return back there if she gets the option.
We get back to where we just left from. We give the time machine to Suzuha and she leaves with it.
She might want to go wherever she wants to go. Yeah. We already know her as having gone to so many different eras in Steins Gate, so many different times in her search and quest. She might want to she has gotten peace in the future. Her parents are alive and safe. She could totally be happy, I would think, existing in a playful world of skipping around to different times and just having fun. Like, think about your father creating this giant playground, if you will, of creating a time machine for you to play with. I think that if I were her, though, I probably would want to return to when I had a friendship, when I was a lab member. That's probably... Because if she had so much of her positive memories being from that time, that might be where she'd want to return. But obviously, I don't know if that would ever get answered.
There was a song played around 7 minutes and 20 seconds in when we're talking like about like, okay, slap some sense
Yeah.
into Ocarine.
It was around 7 minutes
Yeah,
and 18
great
seconds.
line. The song playing was phenomenal. I loved it. The score of this episode is great, and of course that includes them bringing back the OG Steins Gate intro song, and it is, without a doubt, it's so hard to make a definite statement like this is my favorite thing of all time. So you always have to be like, this is up there. But it is so fucking high up there for me. My emotions tied to that song. This world and this series and these characters mean a lot to me, man. This is it. This is one of, like, Steins Gate as a world is one of, in my subjective opinion, the most perfect pieces of fiction I've ever seen. And I am, like, I'll never forget it, you know?
That's why Steins Gate Zero is possible, because of the fact that these characters mean so much to you at
Yeah.
this point. That's why this series was possible.
But what a fucking cool way to do it, right? Like, in a world that you're having, like, a spin-off of the same characters 30 years later and they have to go through something else again, that's not always great. When you finish a series, you're hopeful that they never have to go through the shit you had to see them go through again. Why the fuck drag them back in that? But to spin it in this way and then connect it back into itself is beautiful. So cool.
If anything, it just strengthens the love for the characters and getting to see, and I would say specifically strengthens the love for the character Mayuri.
Oh my god.
And what we get to see is not only Okabe obviously breaks down a bunch in this series, and what we get to see with him kind of casting off Hyoin Kyoma. Don't kill off Hyoin Kyoma, which was a line we already talked about. That idea is so important for us to get to see him not only, casting it off originally, but then trying to put it back on, but then still it hasn't completely reattached, if you will, in terms of he's putting it on, but it's for show still, and he wavers a little bit at being tested, and then putting this character through even more than we saw in Steins Gate, 3,000 time leaps, like waking up from a coma, like losing Amadeus, but dealing with the creation of Amadeus to begin with. The amount of pain that this man has gone through.
For real.
It makes him even more deserving of the OVA that we saw of him on the hood of a car with Kurisu.
Yeah.
Like,
their whole set here is fucking hilarious. I love it so much. It's so them. Maho being like, won't he be embarrassed about this in 2010?
Daru was like,
he was even more amazing.
Don't worry, he was even more amazing back then. What a good line.
Man, I love Daru. I'm happy. I'm sad though too.
That's fair.
I would love to know if people have played because we were told that Steins Gate was a visual novel, right? If people have played it, is it like, if I would play it if it was an exact copy and paste all the way through of Steins Gate because of how much I love Steins Gate. But I wonder what changes, if any, there would be, and I'd be so interested to seeing them, and if it's positive or negative, and I'd love to know what people's opinions are about that.
When this is over, I think I would play it regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was
definitely
scene on scene replica the same of what we get in Steins Gate and maybe even Steins Gate Zero, I think I would play it anyway, because Steins Gate Zero has opened up my mind to the idea that even though Steins Gate is this work alone that is amazing, and that there was worry for it being touched, that I have trust in the person that wrote it, that if you were to open another kind of can of worms, or were to deviate slightly and branch off and show a different thing that hadn't been shown before, I would trust that it would be entertaining, interesting, and brought back to the main plot in a way that was compelling and or strengthened some of the characters in your mind.
Well said.
So I would play it regardless.
All right, that's all I have, you.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.